Making a recipe that calls for butter? Make it better with European butter from France. With a minimum of 82% butter fat, it's no wonder French butter is the #1 choice of chefs the world over. Whether you're whipping up an omelet, sautéing vegetables, or spreading it on toast, the rich, cultured flavor of butter from France always elevates. Be sure to look for Made in France on the label. And for recipes, tips, and tricks, go to tasteeurope.com.
If I'm going to get a lobster roll, I wait to go to Cape Cod. Yes, I'm a snob.
Yeah, you
Sorry, everyone. I go to Cape Cod for my lobster roll. But no, I'm not going to waste that in the city. But
This is Taste. I'm your host, Matt Rodbard. Rachel Dratch is an actor, comedian, and was a cast member on Saturday Night Live from 1999 to 2006. She's also the host of a great new podcast, Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch. This is such a fun conversation, and we really get a sense that Rachel is a foodie. For real, we talk about her favorite places in New York's East Village and why she's been hanging out at the new Second City location in New York City. It was so fun having Rachel in the studio, and I hope you enjoy this conversation. Rachel Dratch, welcome to This Is Taste.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
This is fun. I met you like 25 years ago.
And I'm sorry I didn't remember that until you told me. But
Wait, you didn't remember when I was an intern at Fox News Channel?
I don't remember, but I'm sure you're going to jog my memory.
No, you wouldn't have remembered because I was an intern at Fox News Channel,
Okay.
But I helped produce a segment with you and Tina Fey. I'd seen your show, Dratch and Fey, which was a 2-woman show, and it was really amazing, and I can't believe that I worked at the Fox News channels. That was weird.
yeah.
But tell me, I want it for our listeners that that era of New York City comedy, it was like really at a cool moment, right when like alt comedy was starting to really happen, and then obviously crossover with television. A lot of alt comics were actually getting on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, I started out at Second City in Chicago,
Yeah.
where Tina was also in the cast, and that's where, and Amy Poehler, that's where we got, she was in a different cast, but that's where we all got our start, along with many other people that I'm sure you've heard of. In any case, then like Dratch and Fey, is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Dratch and Fey.
Dratch and Fey, that started because so Tina had gotten hired as a writer on SNL, and I had left Second City and moved to LA, and like nothing was happening, and so then Tina and I were like, what if we do a show over the summer in Chicago? Because she wanted to do more performing and I wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
So we did this at Second City. We put together this 2-person sketch show and it was really fun. It was a smash success. And then we did it the following, I don't know when. I don't remember the timing. It was like over 20 years ago. But then we did it here in New York at the UCB.
At UCB in Chelsea,
theater.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
old theater.
And then after that, I got hired for SNL as an actor, and Tina got hired. Well, she was already there, but she got to do Weekend Update. It like bumped her up to Weekend Update.
She was in front of the camera, not the head writer, a writer.
Yes.
Yeah. So the show, what was the premise of Dratch and Fey?
It was just the same kind of sketch we had done at
Sketchy
Second City. Although with Second City, we developed things through improv. And with this, we developed a few scenes through improv, and then we wrote some, and it was kind of a mishmash. But Second City, you get to try out your scenes beforehand, before the big opening in front of an audience, night after night. And this was our first time just like, let's put on this show. And so we didn't know how it was going to go, but it went really well. Like we were still at that relief of hearing the laughs when you don't even know if they're going to be there. So it was really fun. And we just 2-person sketch, just did all these different sketches, different characters and energy, and we ended with this love song that I remember. Anyway, it was just a lot of fun.
It's cool, and it is on YouTube. There's like some unofficial stuff on YouTube available.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was great to watch and remember that. But I also, and Second City just opened in New York, and we're going to talk about that. You know, this legendary incubator of comedic talent and comedy writing in Chicago is now in New York. What's it like
Yeah.
in Second City, New York?
They're freshly opened.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can't really speak to it, but the space is beautiful. It's in Williamsburg and it has the bar and restaurant. Like the lobby is sort of a facsimile of the Chicago. I mean,
Yeah.
they have like the big photo, the big caricatures up. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
walked in, there's like Amy Sedaris and Tina and Keegan. And it's a beautiful space. And the new cast, well, some of the cast is out of Chicago and they got to come here and like
really?
start which is exciting for them. And so they're developing their show, much as I just said, like putting it up every night. It's up and running now, though.
I love it.
And the other great thing about Second City that I love is after the show, there's an improv, like a third act of improv, that's how we developed our scenes. And then once the show's up and running, you're just doing improv. It's just so fun. Like you're improvising every night. You're getting so much better at improvising because improvising you can get rusty, or you can when you're first starting you can be fearful, and like when you're doing it every night the stakes are lower because you get to do it again tomorrow, and you just get so much. You get kind of like a well-oiled machine with improv. I'd say it's like 80% pretty great, and then like there's 10% that is amazing. Like I can't believe I saw that, and then there's the 10% that totally dies.
Yeah.
And you just don't know when that's going to happen.
That makes you stay on your toes and just like,
Sure
that's why you
does.
love it, right? Okay. I want this conversation to go in a few areas. I want to talk about restaurants and talk about food. I want to talk about
favorite
SNL rap parties.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about what else? Well, let's go into,
All right.
and POTUS. I saw you in POTUS.
Oh, POTUS, yes.
And that was really cool. And you're great. That was a
Broadway
great
debut.
I know. And like, wow, you killed it. It was a
Thank
great
you.
show. It was really, really
So
good.
fun.
I wish it was, I guess you don't wish it was still on because it was.
Well, it was so fun. I mean, it was always a limited run because it had all those, big wigs in it.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. We did it 2 summers ago, 2022.
2022.
And it was, Vanessa Williams and Julianne Hough, Leah Delaria, Lily Cooper, Susie Nakamura,
Yeah.
and Julie White.
Yeah.
I think I got everyone. Directed by Susan Stroman, or Stro, as I like to call her. But anyways, it was such a fun. I got to do this really fun part where I got to be like this completely physical clown, basically.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. And I love live theater with the audience. Just I love that kind of give and take.
You really stole the scenes. It was great, and it is. I mean, Juliana Hough is that her name? Julianne. She was amazing.
Yeah, I know. She's fantastic.
Fantastic. I didn't expect that out of it, but it was a great. And you were terrific. I mean, really
you.
stood out. I was like, wow, damn, Rachel is amazing. That's a great
you.
show. And do you want to do more Broadway?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. I mean, it is, but I mean, you have no weekends because you're doing the matinees and you can't like just go to the wedding that you got invited. Like, so and then it's also like takes a lot of physical energy. Like, I mean, when I was doing Second City and I was 30 years old, I didn't even notice. You're just like so excited to be there. And now I'm older than that. It's like, oh my gosh, like our dressing room was on the 3rd flight up on the thing. You're going up and down, up and down. You're like, oh. I like feel like an old broad.
Yeah, that pack of Winstons isn't feeling so good.
I had to quit the Winstons.
Yeah,
no, but I had to run around the whole theater. It was good for me though. Don't get me wrong. So anyway, but no, I don't get how people like when I go to theater now and I see the Broadway, the dances, the hoofahs, and they're up there doing 2 shows. I'm like, now that's energy,
Those doubles on Saturdays. I mean,
I know.
I want to ask a Broadway performer about food because you gotta like fuel, right? Because it's how do you actually eat during a performance day? Like, do you have rituals while the run's going on?
God, you know what? I don't even remember that really.
Yeah.
I didn't have like rituals. No,
Yeah.
but I like to go out afterwards because it's like your reward.
Well, you also have a lot of adrenaline because you just went through this amazing thing.
And usually have friends that have come, like people coming every night. So then you're going out with them every night.
Yeah. So by the theaters, were there any spots?
Oh,
you remember going to a restaurant?
So I mean, Midtown is sort of a wasteland of restaurants. I think so. Then you've got to find your
our
places
office is
to go.
in Midtown.
Right.
Hard
so
agree.
This. Yes. Well, one place that I like for post theater is just like simple. The Glass House Tavern.
Yeah.
Because they're so friendly there.
So cool. What a great reference.
The food's pretty good. The drinks, like, it's sort of like it's not an Irish pub, but it's like Irish. But they make good cocktails.
Yeah.
There's a but.
How about that?
Often with an Irish place, you should just order the beer, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, not to stereotype, I'm canceled now by the Irish population.
The Irish,
no, but they make
cocktails.
Like, I'm saying, they make a good margarita there. They do. But they're so friendly. And you know what's great about the place? If you have like a big group of people, they'll let you they'll just like give you like your own area there.
Oh yeah,
So-
they'll give you. I grew up going to a place called Carlos Murphy's, which you can imagine was an Irish pub that had good
Great margaritas.
Margaritas, it's exactly that spot. All right, I want to ask you about restaurants in general.
Okay.
Which we always like to ask at the top of the
I feel
show.
very strongly about this.
Yes. So
I've evolved.
Okay, so right now, what's the
I've
rotation? like?
devolved, I should say. I've devolved.
Did you?
No, because let me explain what I mean. I don't like going to new places in New York because I have my same 4 places. And
Fair.
whenever I'm like, okay, I'll try that place, it's never as good as the same 4 places where like, you know what you're going to get. And I know that's like, here you should go out and try all the places, which
It's
I
stressful.
do.
It's
I
exhausting.
do. I like trying the new places. I like looking at the list of like 100 best restaurants.
Yeah.
But whenever I go, I'm always like, this isn't as good as that.
Yeah,
place.
and also there's something to be said about being a regular.
Regular, yes. Now, how do you feel about this thesis I just
It's
threw
an
down?
amazing thesis. I love regulars. I think 4 is a great number. If you said I only went to the same place all the time, I'd say that's like psychopathic and just like uncreative.
Okay, no. But it wasn't like on purpose for it. It's just I just noticed these are the places that always do right by me.
Yeah, name
Am I going to name
Let's
them?
go.
Okay.
We don't have to put them in any order, so
Okay, I
let's
won't
be
put-
clear.
I'm going to put them from place I've been going to the
Ooh.
longest.
I love that order. There is a logic here.
Now,
Okay.
don't crowd this place because I still need my table. And that goes for all these places. But number 1, Supper
Yeah.
on 2nd Street and Avenue A.
Yeah.
Have you gone there?
I used to live at 7th and A
Oh, my God.
back in
Love
02 to
it.
05. Really was going
love it
strong
there so
then.
much. Oh, my gosh. It's been there for years. I used to go before I had a kid and everything.
Yeah.
It was like sort of my cheers. I mean, not like everyone knew my name, but it was like that was the place I would go meet my friends, and we knew the bartender. And now they don't have the bar anymore there, which is a bummer.
They don't? At Supper?
No. So they used to. It's such a cozy like decor. And it's just very cozy. But they used to have a bar in this in the next room over, and then out of nowhere they closed it. And everyone was so sad. Like it felt like a piece of my heart was ripped
you had, that
out.
bar was the spot where you would go.
Yeah,
after
it
the
was
meal.
such a great hang. But anyways, it's the restaurant's still there. They also have this amazing little party room in the back, like Scooby-Dooville, where
word.
like there's like these wine racks, and then you go. It's almost like a secret door sort of thing. But there's a great party room there for. I don't mean like a large party, but you could seat like maybe 14 people.
Private dining room.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
do
say.
it.
Private
PBR.
dining.
Yeah.
For a birthday or whatever.
Yeah, right
But
on.
the food is so good. It's cash only, everyone. So be warned.
Still?
Yes, cash only.
Wait, that's hilarious. There's like literally like 5 of those.
Okay, well,
now
that's
it's like
one of
no
them.
cash allowed.
But you have to get the spaghetti limone. That's
Yes.
number 1. The chicken parm is delish.
I love this.
And those are my 2 favorite
Those are
dishes
great
there.
picks. Do you live in the
Oh,
neighborhood?
you know what else is so good? Sorry, I'm really getting passionate right now.
It's a food podcast.
But they give you these these white beans and oil for like just so they bring it by. And I know that sounds like beans.
Nah.
They're so good.
Yeah, when
Like, I
you get a
crave-
bean that you know and you love, you
There's nothing.
Yeah.
No, they're
Yeah.
so good. So anyway, that's my number 1
Okay, so
in the city.
question: do you ever go to Il Bagato next door, nearby?
Oh, I think I've been there like once or
Il
twice.
Bagato is always my spot. But
Oh,
I think
okay.
supper
I
is
think I've
amazing.
gone there for like a
But it
glass
was
of wine.
clearly not as good as supper, and you're
I
like,
guess
nope.
not, because I'm just getting really worked up over supper over
So you
here.
got supper,
I might have to go there tonight.
3 more.
Okay. Oh, I just thought of another one too. Okay. So am I going on too long though with these?
You are not. This is a food podcast, so we're great.
Okay. Okay. Second. Now I discovered this one during the pandemic, which I
Cool.
guess it's been there for years.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, you know when you were first like sprung into the wild and you finally get to go meet a friend for a drink, but it's 25 degrees. This is where I went. Rosie's, which is on 2nd
Yep.
Street and 2nd Ave. Again, don't take my table. Do not crowd this place. I still need my access.
Yeah.
But they have the best margaritas.
Yeah.
And that's my drink of choice.
It's clearly a theme, and I'm loving this.
I know. The
Good
margaritas there, I think, best in the city.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
say that right now. They have, they do a watermelon marg in the summer,
Ooh.
and it is so good.
Rosie's is a
It's
cool
not too sweet.
outdoor space. Is nice.
It's cool. I mean, it's like you are by like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
traffic and everything. So it's not an idyllic outdoor space, but they do have outdoor
You're right.
space. You're in the
You're-
heart of the East Village. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. You
Yeah.
don't know who's going to walk by your table.
Yeah.
the food's pretty good, but I like the margaritas.
Yeah. What about your third?
Third is Mermaid Inn.
You are hitting
Different locations throughout
man.
the city.
Yeah.
Mermaid Inn is consistently delish.
Legends. Are you
And there
lobster
used
roll or
to-
shrimp roll?
Oh, I'm not a lobster roll. I'm from Massachusetts, so I save If I'm going to get a lobster roll, I wait to go to Cape Cod. Yes, I'm a snob.
Yeah, you
Sorry, everyone. I go to Cape Cod for my lobster roll. But no, I'm not going to waste that in the city. But no, you know what's really good there, though? The lobster knuckles that they call them. They serve them like escargot.
Right.
Have you had those? They're in like a buttery delish
They put
sauce.
the butter, you dip it in.
Oh my God, so good. That's one of the best things there.
How's the margarita? There.
Margarita, not as good.
Not as good. Okay, so
not their specialty.
That's not their specialty.
I would get wine and oysters, maybe.
Yeah,
oysters are good there. But so here's the thing: they used to have one in the East Village.
Yep.
Mysteriously closed. I never cracked the mystery. Then they reopened. Then they closed again out of nowhere under cover of night. But they do have one over on 10th and 23rd.
Oh, that's right, because the one in the East Village is done, and that was like the best one. That
but
was
there's a few of them. But you know where they just opened one within last year? Why do I know all this?
Hudson Yards.
I'm really going off about this. Midtown.
Yeah.
43rd and like between Broadway and something.
Wow.
And it's great for Midtown because whenever you're looking for and it's very large there, you can always get a table, but you don't quite feel like you're in Midtown.
Well, 43rd and 8th, you said?
Between Broadway and
Broad, okay.
7th or something like that.
I'd call that more of the Times Square bistro.
Okay, well, Times Square then. That's the Broadway area is what I'm saying.
It's cool.
It's like you feel like you're a little bit out of...
Wait, so they do pay you money, Emermaid Inn?
What?
They do pay you money. No, I'm just kidding.
Because I'm...
You love them.
Listing the location.
Yeah, you're like literally the directory.
I know. Oh, the fourth. Well, I'm going to slip this into Ribalta. I like that. That wasn't
This is 3.
This is 3.5.
Yeah,
Ribalta.
3.5.
That's down across from Strand Bookstore, and that has really good pizza.
That place
and very good pesto, by the way.
I like the
pesto, unparalleled. What'd you say?
You live in the East Village, I imagine.
Yes, I live somewhere in the vicinity.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to dox
totally
you.
Kidding.
Yeah.
I know all my places are, but then my
Ethan
last
Hawke
one.
lives there too.
I've seen him once or
He's
twice.
Like the most East Village guy,
but I don't know exactly where he lives.
Yeah.
No, and then the fourth one. Now this is a splurge though, but I'm gonna say ABC Kitchen is my splurge.
It is a great place,
and for that, they do really good salads and like that hot fried chicken is really really good.
Oh, they do a hot fried chicken there.
They've been doing that one for years. I'd say go with that.
You're a real downtown person.
I am.
You're downtown.
Know. I don't know. I never know where to go if I'm on like the Upper West Side. I don't know what restaurants.
Nobody. There's nothing to go to. That's it. I mean, you go to Zabar's maybe.
Yeah. I can't think of other stuff. Those are the ones that like
I love Rachel.
That I always
you have
go
great
to.
taste in restaurants.
Oh, good. I should branch out though, and I want to try. Oh, you know what I went to? Here's a new one. Can I list a new one?
Breaking news. Let's do it.
But I mean, I've only been once. Some friends took me to my birthday. No, I didn't even know about this. The Tin Building.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
John George von Grieschen's
Yes,
place.
Jean George.
Yeah.
Who runs ABC.
Yes, he does.
Anyway, I didn't even know this existed. But it's almost like an Italy, but it's Jean George.
Isn't
right?
it fun there? It's great.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's down near the seaport or something.
It's
no,
like
not the seaport.
It's
like
exactly the
pier,
seaport.
whatever.
Yeah, it's
next to the giant old ship.
Yeah, it's in the Tin Building.
And it's like a building that's just Jean George little like,
private
what do you call that? I don't know.
It's a food hall.
I wanted to say like Quincy Market, where I'm from, which is food hall.
Quincy
Thank you,
Market.
food hall. They have every kind of little restaurant. But where they took me for my birthday was House of the Red Pearl. Have you gone there?
I have been there.
Oh my God.
I've not been there. I've been there for a party, but I've not been there for a full meal.
Okay, first of all, Dratch loves a secret entrance.
Yeah.
So I love, it's not a store? No, it's a restaurant. I love the bar Dear Irving. Unmarked.
Yeah.
You just walk upstairs, unmarked. They can be a little snooty there if you don't have breath.
I
mean,
know.
they're nice to me, but
yeah, you got the card.
But I live somewhere in the neighborhood. But anyways, no, Dear Irving, great for cocktails.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really passionate and I just had coffee, so I'm running at the mouth.
No, you're doing a great job in the
House of the Red
mixology scene.
House of the Red Pearl looks like a little fake storefront. And then you walk in, and I love a drama.
Yeah.
Walk into the world, and so it's Jean George. I guess it's Chinese influenced, I would say, but it was very good.
Was there any entertainment happening there? Because I know they do that sometimes. They do like
not that night.
Jazz
but
band.
They had good drinks, and they had great dumplings and stuff like that.
You said they took you there.
My friends.
Who's taking you out? Like what's the party?
My lady friends took me for my birthday.
Yeah,
it was just like I wanted to do a mellow. I spread my birthday across a whole week, so I did a bunch of little dinners. So that was one of them. Yes.
I love the spread. So you went to
When I just thought of another restaurant
Red
I
Pearl.
loved too.
Where else did you go on this week of Rachel's birthday?
We went to the new revised El Quixote.
The one in the Chelsea Hotel.
Yeah.
I've heard extremely mixed reviews about that place.
Okay. Loved the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a Chelsea Hotel, for God's sakes. It's amazing.
But you know what place I love for tapas? Tiapol. Have you gone there?
Right. Sure.
That's a little nook, and they have the best sangria.
Quite the foodie here.
Oh, yes. They have good food.
No,
and the
you
sangria-
have a
Oh,
great
yes. I
sense
am a
of-
foodie.
But none of these restaurants opened, except for the Tin Building.
Oh, because I'm not listing anything new.
It's okay. I'm down with this. I love it.
What's a new one that I've been to? I can't think of
When do you like to dine out? Do you dine out when you're just with your family? Are you dining out when you're with work?
More with friends.
Friends.
Just like the thing, like that's my activity. People will say, "What are your hobbies?" I've just listed my hobbies. Like I don't, I like going out with friends and meeting my pals out in the city because it's like, I don't know.
I like
that's
this-
what's good about living in the city. If you're gonna go deal with all the crap, you might as well
Have
deal
a
with
meal.
the good stuff too.
Yeah. So let me ask you: just were in Memphis doing some
yeah.
work. Did you get any food in Memphis? 'Cause
Oh, we
it's-
did. But we went to kind of like a dive. It was called Huey's. I just was in Memphis for this gig. And
You called it. It's a corporate. You did a
it
corporate.
was a corporate thing.
Yeah.
But then we were supposed to fly out that day. But then because of the weather, we couldn't. No flights were going out. So then we were like, okay. So
We
we
got
ate.
a night in Memphis.
So we ate at Huey's, which was a really good burger joint. I gotta say.
I don't know
Yeah.
this place, but I'm gonna.
I didn't
look
either.
it
I've
up.
never been to Memphis. But
Wait,
it was
you
very-
went to Memphis the first time and did not go to Graceland?
We drove by. We didn't have time. We drove by it. I
Waved.
took a photo of the
plane,
exterior.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this place Huey's was pretty good.
Cool. Any barbecue? Did you have any barbecue?
No, we didn't do barbecue. We
fair.
had fried pickles
Sweet.
and we had this burger that was very good.
What was the corporate? What were you doing? Anything fun?
Oh, so I'm doing these new commercials
What's the
for
brand?
American Home Shield, and I'm playing this funny, I hope funny
American
character.
Home Shield.
Yes, and I'm playing a character named Warrantina.
Ah.
Because it's home warranty. And I'm a new age, kind of like a little bit offbeat, a little bit off character
Sounds fun.
named Warrantina. I think they started running this week because my doorman told me he saw.
Oh.
So yeah.
So American Home Shield, we're just going, this is not SpawnCon, but it could be American Home Shield you can write. Now, what do you get with American Home Shield? Like, what do you
get a home warranty. It's something.
Warranty?
What I mean is, it's a thing. People in apartments don't need it, but if you have a house and you want to have all your appliances and your HVAC and your fridge, and you want everything covered, washing machine, when anything breaks down, then you have like it's all covered and someone comes out and fixes it. We don't know from this because
No.
we're in New York.
Right.
We don't know
This is more
from
of a
home
homeowner shit.
warranties. But if you're out and you have an actual house.
How did you develop the character? Was it written or did you improvise?
Well, I've worked with the these two very funny ladies from the ad agency. They were really
love it.
legit funny, and they wrote, I think, really funny spots. So I don't feel like I'm shilling for like.
No.
I think they were really fun.
Hey,
I felt
man,
like doing a
you got a
sketch.
nice chase.
Well, no, I would shill, believe me, but this feels like it feels like a more of a sketch. So
I mean,
it's
you
more
got a
fun.
great chase direct deposit, and you got to have fun doing it too.
There you
So
go.
there you go.
Yes.
It's like everyone wins. I love talking to you about the industry, and I got to ask you, being on SNL as an actor and as a cast member, we can talk about the acting, and that's great. But I want to hear about the rap parties because I've been to one; they're great. But I've only been to one. You were a cast member for years, and you went to many. To me, when I'm watching SNL, the whole thing about SNL is you are writing the show for that week. You're performing it live. It's extremely intense. You get this moment to like unwind at the end of this big production. What's a rap party like for you as an actor?
So I think people imagine the rap parties are like I'm sure back in the old days when it was like
Yeah.
Belushi and Aykroyd.
Odeon style.
I'm sure they were
Yeah.
much more, whatever. I don't know.
Odeon. They were at
Salacious. How you'd imagine, like doing coke off of.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, they were very sort of staid when I was there. It was like, because everyone has their friends, and it's not like this big like mix and mingle thing. Like everyone has a table. So then you're like at this table with your friends. But I think to the outside world, you're probably imagining something much more exciting than it actually is. But I will say, so then every week it's at a different.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like that's the setup. Like
Okay.
every single week, there's a new restaurant that
Different,
hosts
yeah.
it, and I work in food, so I've had many people in my life hosted at their restaurants or their PR.
Right.
And like it's a big deal when you get SNL Wrap to do your venue.
Oh, okay.
It's cool for them because they get to obviously meet the cast in some way.
Right.
But like And the one I went to was at Dos Caminos. It was like,
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like on Park Ave. It was like,
Yeah, they go to the same. They did a rotation.
So tell me about the rotation. What's
Well, I mean, I don't know which of these places exist anymore.
Go old
we
school.
did like sometimes they were like at Heartland Brewery. Sometimes they were at Docks.
Yeah. Docs did a lot of them. I remember hearing talk to them.
There was some place
Hill
like,
Country, right? Anyone?
That might have been
Barbecue?
that was after my time
After
for
your
that
time.
one.
Yeah.
There was some. You know what else? Here's another weird thing. You caught a limo that night. You'd get in your limo, and you didn't even know where you were. I don't mean because you were whacked out on like drugs.
No.
You didn't pay attention to where you were going. But I will say the most fun party was the one at like Christmas or the end of the year. It would be out in the plaza at Rockefeller Center, and the end of the year one, so fun because you were outside. But I will say I was there for 7 years. I think 6 out of the 7. Imagine what you think the weather is in May in New York. And then now when May rolls around, remember I said this, you're going to see what it really is. It was always like super cold and rainy. And so 6 out of the 7 years, it was like you had to like huddle indoors. But one of those years, it was like spring weather and beautiful.
Glorious May
dancing
day.
And so fun.
So I got some follow-up questions. You got a limo every night after the show, like every cast member.
Week you would get,
Or every week, every night.
Yeah.
And
Saturday,
that would take you, whisk you away.
Yes.
I got like a little ticket. My friend who invited me and said like the party's here. Here's the password. It literally was that. But you get a limo. Is that just how it rolls? You get a limo to go wherever you want?
I don't know if it still does, but that's how it was. Yeah, just that night on the shows. Now you're not riding
on the show night. Like
show night. Yeah,
it's a nice. I mean,
then you could pile all your friends in.
Yeah, you get it for your friends. So it's like okay. So then they just take you to the party.
Yeah,
it's like let's go to the party.
Yeah,
and so it's like a mystery every night, every week.
Yeah,
every week.
Yeah, and then there's the after party.
Okay, let's go there. That was my next question because I know
those were in more seedy dive bars, and then you'd roll home at like 8 a.m. when the sun's up. Well, I did. Some people would go home, but I didn't always go to that after, but I often did. And those were like, there was that bar Siberia
of course.
Under the subway.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
I don't remember. Oh, Professor Tom's when that existed.
After party, a time when you actually do work, like and not like real work, but you guys like talk about shit like for the next week.
No, it's like 4 a.m. You're not You're not thinking about comedy. You're like just so like relieved, whatever. You're like blowing off steam. You know.
Are you going over the show a little bit?
No.
A little bit? No,
not really. I mean, maybe when you first get to the party, like, oh my God, that was funny, but nothing like
that word. That was cool. That crazy person.
And then you have one day to recover, and then Monday you start it all over.
That's the wild part about your job, and then you have to start over on when you have back-to-back weeks, and you have to go into the writing and the performing and all that.
So it's very nocturnal, which I've always been a night person, so that didn't really bother me. But yeah.
Okay, so you're at the rap party. I mean, Lauren was there when I was there. That dude's like hanging out, right?
Oh,
Talking to his crew.
Oh, yeah. He's there till the bitter end of the night.
I was at the musical guest table. That's how I got in. I didn't even know. It was Sam Smith at the time. He was quite small, and at the time now he's very famous. But I felt I was a total interloper. I was not invited here. It was like definitely not supposed to be here, but I'm at the artist's table.
Oh, wow.
But it felt like literally, legitimately everybody was at their table with each cast member. Writer.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like to me, that's really rare that you get every week you get to do a happy hour with your coworkers and it's paid for and you get a private car there.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, do you is that where friendships are formed?
Oh.
More than like the working week?
No. Because the working week is like, I mean, it's just all, you're all in you're all in it together the whole week. So
you're building it, yeah.
Yeah, the friendships are probably more formed like laughing, doing the sketches and
working through the word,
writing stuff together.
Yeah.
But then, but we did spend because most of the world is on a different schedule, so you are with these people all the time. Like sometimes after writing night, whatever, like after the picks are announced, you go out with those people. Like that becomes your clan for the whole year, pretty much.
Yeah, your writing team and people.
The whole ensemble of it. You are really an ensemble.
You still walk on, though. You do a lot.
Well, sometimes you get the call to go do it. That's always fun. Yeah.
Yeah. You like performing. You're performing.
Yeah, I mean, going back there is really fun because you're just like, I don't know, it's just fun to go back, Sorry.
Enough SNL. Thank you for indulging me and our listeners in that. It was really fun to remember these rap parties. Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch is your podcast. Now, I want to ask you, first off, when you do a podcast, And your show is great. I love listening to it. And I'm going to link to the show notes to download it and check it out.
Oh, thanks.
How are you thinking about your booking? How does that work?
Sometimes it's a really juicy ghost story from someone that I know that you might not know. They're not a celebrity. And then other times it's like, oh, Will Ferrell or Seth Meyers said they'd do this and just chat with me. So then it's like, what's your relationship to, the world of woo? Yeah. So like some people like, Seth is very skeptical, like, so, but then we talked about nostalgia. So I'm also into psychology. So sometimes it's like ghosts and sometimes it's,
the ghosts like telling you about your
no. Sometimes it's someone with a ghost story, and sometimes it's like like skepticism about whatever tarot readings. Or something.
I got
it. All over the map.
So there's actually like a woo-woo like hater aid element.
Yeah, because also I'm not like I always say this every time. I'm not a completely woo-woo person. Like I'm really into these stories that kind of make you go, oh, like maybe how do you explain that? And I was into the show In Search Of as a child.
Yeah,
and like mysteries, unsolved
mysteries.
I don't mean the show Unsolved Mysteries, but I mean like the concept of unsolved
mysteries.
And also, I'm really into psychology too. So. All three of those, I like chatting about this stuff, and that's what it is.
I'm super into this idea that you're getting both sides of the coin. It's not like all hardcore, tell me your best ghost story. It's like, tell me why you think tarot readings is a big con.
Also, I mean, Smart. I've had some crazy experiences. Like a psychic told me I was going to have a child when I was 43 and not dating anyone. And then...
Amazing.
Lo and behold, I have a child. Like I've had a few like really weird things that make you like, oh. But then sometimes someone's telling a story and I'm thinking like, okay, that was probably just the wind. But okay, keep going. I don't want to sit there and debunk it. I'm very aware a lot of these can be debunked, but some of them, who knows? Woo.
So can I give a little bit of an example of an occult restaurant crossover? So
Jekyll and Hyde?
Jekyll and Hyde. Oh my God, that is really funny.
That place was my nightmare. But
that place, I feel a lot of people I know work there.
Oh my God.
No, there's a restaurant called Il Buco that's downtown.
I know Il Buco.
So like around the Cobble Hill Street.
Yeah. Is it haunted?
Two things, correct? But first, Edgar Allan Poe lived above, so that's a real that guy. But so it is extremely haunted. But in the basement.
I've eaten at that basement.
It's one of the basements. So if you actually go to the basement. There is a very strong spirit there who fucks with people. It's not a nice spirit. And I think Donna Leonard was on the podcast, who's the owner of Il Buco, who said a little bit about it. But I've asked people who've worked at Il Buco. It is a extremely, I would say, not aggressive, but a not cool ghost there. So you got to interview the ghost.
I'm stunned. I didn't know there was a haunted area.
Edgar Allan Poe lived in the place. He was inspired by the ghost.
Now, what is the ghost? I might have to try to track.
You should track it. I'm trying not to produce your show.
What does the ghost do? That's evil.
I mean, just like closes doors on people, locks people in the basement. I'm telling someone else's ghost story, so I don't want to paraphrase.
You know who's a big believer in ghosts is Leah Delaria. She came on the show, and she claims a ghost pushed her down the stairs in Provincetown at some bar there. And I was like, Leah, how much had you had to drink before that? But
wine.
However, she claims a ghost pushed her down the stairs.
Okay, so Rachel, when in this research, have you found any ghosts to be good? Any positive ghost stories?
Well, I've heard a few ghost stories of of ghosts that were not scary, but they just were kind of there. And then the person said to them, like, we appreciate you. You can move on. You're welcome here, but feel free to move on. And then they didn't see the ghost again. One of the very first episode is Kevin Cahoon, Broadway star Kevin Cahoon. Yeah. And he has a crazy story because anytime two different people see the same thing, that makes me really believe.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. There's a few of those where two people see something. And I don't know how you explain that. I don't know how you explain it. So
I think the one thing about ghosts, I think it's when you get the corroboration, but also when there's like things like doors locking from the inside.
Yeah, I haven't had many of those like poltergeisty stories.
That happens sometimes.
One person said that they would come back in their kitchen and the cabinets were always open.
That's crazy.
I don't know how that happened. But so again, I need to emphasize, I am not a wackadoo, but I'm just a reporter. I'm just here to share the woo-woo stories.
Fun. Well, I'll link to in the show notes. It's great. On This Is Taste, we ask guests about their discerning taste. So to close this interview, here's a little rapid-fire Fast and Furious taste check. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The best fruit.
Watermelon.
Why?
Because it's just the best. It's cold. It never fails. I don't know.
It never
say
does.
why. Watermelon never fails.
It never fails you in a pinch.
It also has good childhood memories of watermelon.
It's good. It's true. The worst vegetable.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to qualify this. Current day tomatoes.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
Current day meaning like
No, what I mean
April?
is like now, like when I was little, tomatoes tasted amazing. And they've been so modified. And you can't get like that good, like delicious, summery, real tomato.
You can't. Even at the farmer's market, you have challenges.
Sometimes at the farmer's market, you can. But
yeah, you
like tomato in a salad that you get just anywhere, it's not going to taste like a tomato. Sorry, I went off on a real diatribe there.
I love that you are making.
Because I was trying to think. Because I like all vegetables pretty much. What's your worst vegetable?
My worst vegetable, I would say, is parsnip. Probably.
I've never even tried that.
It's not great.
Okay.
Except for a puree. But I'll say, Brussels sprouts got better with age.
That's true.
They've made the.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are good.
They've made them better.
They have.
The GMO people, because they were able to genetically modify them to taste better.
Not be so sour.
Not to be so bitter and sour.
Oh,
exactly. And stink
interesting.
Your favorite cookbook of all time?
Okay. New Basics.
What's that? Who's that? What's that from?
Oh my God, that was so popular in the 80s.
I don't know it.
Oh my gosh, everyone my age had this cookbook. And it's
New Basics.
It's that recipe for chicken marbella that everybody.
Yeah, I love
that.
Oh man,
great pancake recipe, great veggie chili recipe.
I love New Basics.
My go-to, but it's very old.
The New Basics, but it's the old basics.
But it's old. It's old.
Your favorite city outside America to visit for food?
Okay, I was thinking this, and can I say the whole country of Italy?
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm going to say the entire country of Italy.
I love that. Do you have a favorite Italian dish?
Ooh, not really. Just anything pasta related.
Limone. Yeah. A cuisine you would like to learn more about?
To cook or to eat?
Yeah, eat, cook.
I know I'm not doing this as rapid fire.
You're doing a great job. No.
I would love to be good at Mexican cooking.
Yeah, right on.
Because I'm not good at it, and I feel like a few little tweaks or helpful hints would really improve my burrito game.
Oh, going the burrito route, yeah.
No, just anything. I mean, I said, but trying to cook, I'm very culinarily challenged.
Are you?
To cook.
To cook, because I was like,
sorry,
you got it.
I want to be a good cook, and I'm simply not. And so I would love, I have to cook for my child, and it's always a challenge. I make very basic.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
Make it simple.
No, but I mean, it's not good.
What is your child like?
Well, I could make salmon.
Yeah.
And I try to make a chicken parm facsimile, and I don't know. I need help. Help me.
Deb Perlman, we got a project here. No, it sounds like you're doing your best.
I'm doing my best, but my best isn't good enough, to quote the song. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good. I don't know.
We're going to have to pay royalties for that, by the way.
Okay.
Damn it. Just kidding. We'll keep that one in there. Last one, your favorite sandwich.
Okay. Don't get mad. This is a very pedestrian answer. I like potbellies.
Listen.
But I just said that to my son and his dad, and they almost ridiculed me out of the room. They were like, potbelly! And I was like, okay.
Potbellies is all right.
I like potbellies.
Do you have an order at Potbellies?
Just the simple turkey and cheese one.
Is your agent pitching you for a Potbellies commercial?
No, but please do.
Let's pick this one up.
Yeah. No, why? What's your favorite? I feel like I should pick some crazy gourmet sandwich that's made in a.
Nah.
No?
My favorite's the banh mi.
See, that's I knew.
Is that
you
too
were going to
foodie?
say that. No, but I don't think I've really even ever had banh mi.
They have good ones downtown in Chinatown in New York, but
Okay.
But I mean,
I'm not a sandwich. I'm not a sandwich. Sandwich isn't my thing. I'm going to go to
Rachel, acceptable.
I'm not going to get a craving for a sandwich.
Acceptable. Some people
I
are sandwich people.
understand, but I would never crave a sandwich. Sorry, that's
okay.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Best dessert?
Best dessert? A simple chocolate cake. Not flourless. Don't make that shit too dense, please. And regular frosting.
What's regular frosting? That's like a paradigm.
I don't
What
like
is
I don't
regular?
like too much crazy cake that
Funfetti is not your vibe.
No, you know what was really good? Entenmann's chocolate cake.
Yo, of course, obviously.
Something that creates that at home,
industrial made cakes is so good.
Factory made chocolate cake.
I mean, the Cake
I could
Factory.
scarf down an entire Entenmann's chocolate.
I love it.
I won't because I never know where they are anymore.
They're
I
at
haven't
the
seen
factory store.
I haven't seen one in a really long time.
They aren't around that much anymore. They
Okay,
have
but
donuts with
that
the
is
cakes.
that's the gold standard.
Rachel Dratch, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you.
This Is Taste.
All right, thank you.
This is Taste is hosted by Eliza Abarbanel and me, Matt Rodbard. The show is produced by Shalia Harris and Pat Stango and edited by Clayton Gumbert. Theme music by Steve Rydell. Visit Taste online at tastecooking.com and make sure to subscribe to our newsletter for updates on all cool things that are happening.